What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today is going to be a day of reflection and hopefully by the end forgiveness, because we're going to be going through my 2024-2025 NHL season predictions, ranging from standing predictions, playoff predictions, awards, goal totals, point totals. We're going to be doing it all. We're going to be going through it. And yeah, based on what I know from this, considering I've had like my summary of award predictions pinned on my Instagram and TikTok basically since I posted it in early October. I know some of the answers to this. I know it's going to be horrible, but we're going to be going through like the full award ballots and shit. Probably going to be bad. My preseason predictions this year, not saying I kill it every year, but they were kind of pretty shit. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be a fun video where I'm going to hold myself accountable because I don't want to just make predictions and then if I miss, I don't have to eat crow or whatever. You stand in my shit. And there's a lot of shit that we have to go through. So yeah, we're going to start with the standing predictions. Then we're going to do the awards. Then we're going to do like the playoff predictions. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Pacific Division. Not like horrible outside of obviously the LA Kings are safely in a playoff spot. Kraken really shit their pants. And the Calgary Flames I thought were going to be pretty bad. I was decently high in the Anaheim Ducks and they might actually finish at like 81 points. I think everybody had the Canucks still in the playoffs, so I'm not going to kill myself for this. By the standards that we're going through in this video, this is actually probably one of my better predictions. So we're going to move on from the Pacific. This is all on my Instagram, by the way. Central Division, Nashville Predators. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about them more later in the awards, but I thought that they did improve. Although I hated their deals like Steven Stamkos and Brady Shea, I think we all agreed that on paper, Nashville was a better team. Just everything went sideways to start the season. Avalanche still making the playoffs, Jets making the playoffs, and Wild in the last wild card spot had the Wild making the playoffs yet again. Utah taking a positive step. St. Louis Blues, sizable miss on that. They've been playing like the best hockey in the entire NHL the last month or so. Yeah, I don't think that I really like went outside the box with this. This was kind of like a pretty safe prediction for the Central Division. Hawks obviously stink as well, but did not quite work out. If I not swap the Preds and the Blues, but if I was lower on the Preds, higher on the Blues, this would look about perfectly fine. But Winnipeg Jets are obviously a wagon as well. But yeah, Atlantic Division, Senators making the playoffs is a good pick. But having the Lightning behind them, and I think I don't have the Lightning in the playoffs in this because I have the Islanders in the Metro, I remember. That's bad. But yeah, the Senators rebuild finally end. The Boston Bruins, Jesus Christ, 105 points. Similar thought process there. I didn't like the Zadorov and Lindholm signings, but I thought they were a 109-point team last year. As long as Swayman could be solid, they're going to be a safe playoff team. Again, everything came crashing down, and Lindholm and Zadorov were pretty shit relative to their deals and relative to even expectations. Had the Wings decently low. Montreal Canadiens was not too high on them. Was decently high on the Sabres. They let me down. Yeah, I'll hang my hat on the Senators prediction, but outside of that, not looking too good. Predators, Leafs. I mean, that's about the level of teams that they are. Metro Division, very high on the New York Rangers. Also, Devils are going to make the playoffs. But yeah, Capitals, I'm not going to kill myself over that, especially with, again, what we have to go through later in this video. Washington, I had them as a fringe wildcard team. Nobody had them as like a safe top 2 team in the Metro Division. You're lying to yourself if you say, how do you not have the Washington Capitals? Shut the hell up. Jackets, bad. Yeah, that obviously did not pan out, but similar thought process there. You had them in their bottom 5 as well. There's other predictions where you could ridicule me and make fun of me. That wasn't exactly one. And the Flyers, even though they were an 86-point team, I knew that they were kind of shit. Penguins, I was decently high on. And they actually might finish with like 80 points this year, but not good. My New York Islanders, 97 points. They still could potentially make the playoffs. I guess how many playoff teams am I going to have? 6 out of 10? Canes, Devils, and then the 4. No, I'm only going to go like 5 out of 10, and that's if the Rangers or Islanders make it. Jesus. Not good. Not good. We are going to be moving on to the awards now where it gets really bad. It actually doesn't start out like that bad with the Hart, considering I went safe with Connor McDavid to win it. He's not going to finish top 5 because of injuries and because of Leon Draisaitl. I'm proud of that Kirill Kaprizov pick. He's obviously hurt. He's only going to play, I think he only played 37 games in the season. But in those 37 games, he was my MVP. And I think next year he's going to come back with the vengeance. I was very high on Kirill Kaprizov. I'm happy with that pick, even though, again, not an actual threat now because of injuries. Austin Matthews, 3rd, similar thought process. He was coming off a 69-goal season, got hurt. He has been highly productive when he's played. I think he has like 29 goals in 58 games and 68 points. But again, injuries did him in. Jack Hughes was playing great both ways of the ice, but not quite Hart level. And then Nathan McKinnon, second best forward in the NHL, just kind of penciled him in there. Draisaitl, you can't really predict that. Everybody probably went with Connor McDavid on their Hart ballot. Shout out you if you went with him. Connor Hellebuck, if you were bold and put him on your Hart ballot, all the respect in the world on that one. Nikita Kucherov, I was lower on the Tampa Bay Lightning, so I didn't have him in this, but I had him at probably like 110 points or something like that. We're going to move on to the Norris, where it's pretty bad. Jesus. Adam Fox having a good season, not quite by his standards, but still having a top 10 defenseman season. Roman Josi now hurt. Still was very good, but again, Nashville came crashing down. It was very high in Nashville. Cam Makar probably going to win it. Evan Bouchard down season relative to last year. Quinn Hughes on a per game basis has been the best defenseman in the NHL, so I like how I didn't put the fifth, just 5. Not good. No Zach Werenski love, even though I liked him this summer. I still had him in my top 50. This is horrible. Oh my God. I knew that I had Soros winning, but having Jerry Swayman second. Oh no. Stuart Skinner, I think I said it in the comments. I'm not going to pull up the comments, but like I was just like, I think they were my President's Trophy picks. So I was like, he's going to win 40 games. Obviously, that didn't happen. But that wasn't like I think Stuart Skinner was going to be a top 5 goalie in the NHL. He was going to win a shit ton of games. For these, I put myself in the shoes of an awards voter, not myself. But yeah, that 1-2 might be the 2 most disappointing goalies of the year. Oh, Jesus. Shesterkin, Hellebuck, the top 2 goalies coming into the season. No awards points there. Yeah, yikes. Obviously didn't predict Logan Thompson or Andrei Vasilevsky, who's coming off back surgery. That's why I was low on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now I have them on my Stanley Cup pick. Calder, it doesn't let up. Cutter Cote. The logic on this, similarly to the logic with Stuart Skinner, I thought that the Ducks are going to be a really good team, which they ended up being a pretty good team, but not really offensively, and that he was going to be playing top line with Troy Terry, Leo Carlson, top power play, and it didn't quite happen. No love for Dustin Wolf. 2 through 4 is 3 of the top 4 guys, but those were the heavy favorites coming into the season. Sorry if I just blew out headphone users. Selke, I didn't want to pick Barkov. I went with my doppelganger, Joel Eriksson-Ek. I'm happy with that pick. He got hurt, obviously, much like Kirill Kaprizov. It's probably going to be Barkov. Heischer will get some votes. Suzuki will get some votes. Matthews got hurt. What is even up after this, man? Adams, Sheldon Keefe, he might get a couple votes, but they didn't exactly dominate this season, in part because of injuries, in part just because they weren't that good. Chris Knobloch, not going to get any votes. Edmonton's going to be third or second in the Pacific Division. John Hines, I got some shit for that. Not going to finish because Kirill Kaprizov and Eriksson-Ek got hurt, but they safely made the playoffs. He's had a good coaching season. Travis Green and then Andrew Burnett, not exactly. Thankfully, this is so bad to say. The past 2 years, I think my prediction for the Adams ended up getting fired. I think it might have been the last 3 years? No, it was Travis Green when he was the Vancouver Canucks head coach in 2022, 2023. And then Jay Woodcroft in 2023, 2024. So Sheldon Keefe survived the year and got the Devils back into the playoffs. So in terms of my awards ballots for the Adams, massive improvement this year. Barry Trotz. Okay, again. Context is needed. Horrible pick. Do not get me wrong. I did not like the Brady Shea and Stamkos deal. I thought the Marchessault one was okay. Marchessault has actually been pretty good. I just thought, I put myself as an awards voter thinking he made the most moves this summer. I think Nashville's going to make the playoffs. They had 3 first-round picks. Maybe they would trade some. So I didn't like his offseason that much, but he did objectively improve the team on paper. But they obviously blew up in his face. I hated Shea. I hated Stamkos in terms of long-term plays. But yeah, Tom Fitzgerald I had in second. Early on in the season, it was looking like he might be a contender. He just did so much. Brisebois, I had Tampa Bay Lightning not making the playoffs, but somehow him finishing third. I don't know what I was thinking there. Steve Staios, fourth. That aged pretty well. Olmark, that's basically all he needed to get this summer in terms of a goaltender. Did exactly that. And Lou Lamoriello, I think he's actually had a pretty good 10 months at this point with the draft, with trading Brock Nelson. Saplakov has been good. So obviously he's not top 5. But Yeah, and is that it for the awards ballots? Okay. Okay, now we got our top 10 point leaders. McDavid leading the pack with 142. Even if he was healthy, he's only going to hit like 120, I think, this season. McKinnon, 122. Draisaitl having a monster year. Kucherov, 119. How did I have Kucherov having 119 points and them still missing the playoffs? Matthews, 109. Kaprizov, 109. Hughes, 109. Geez. Pasternak, 108. Rantanen, 105. Kachuk, 104. No like huge swings on this. I guess maybe Jack Hughes didn't exactly age well. I for some reason don't have my top 10 in goals, but I think I had Matthews winning the Rocket. I probably had Kaprizov number 2, Draisaitl there, I guess. Rantanen, I think, as well. Probably like Gensel in Tampa Bay, even though I'm gonna end in the playoffs or something like that. Don't have the goal totals, but yeah, here's the points. We got the Mbon preseason punishments, of course, that I was very confident in, and I put like challenges, punishments as a result if they didn't hit. Islanders are going to miss the playoffs. Most likely, I will be biking all of Long Island this summer. Sens are going to be making the playoffs, so I won't have to do that one. Wings will most likely not be making the playoffs. Devils will be making the playoffs. Rangers, Presidents, that's not some kind of like sick pick. They were 8-1 to win the President Trophy again. Flames, very bad. They're probably going to clinch this like tomorrow or something like that. I think they're at like 80 points right now. Ducks are already at 72 points with 9 games to go, so that's a check mark at least. And Canada, unfortunately, did win the Four Nations, so better predictions here. The stuff that I was really confident on, thankfully, I don't have to do too many of these punishments. My best bets of the year, I love to do this before the season. When looking at it, the Flames are going to go over 81.5. Oilers are, unless they go on like some crazy heater, going to be under 106.5. The Drysdale one, that's one of the ones that I put a serious amount of money on, 34.5. He's at like he's not close. I don't know exactly what he's at right now, but he's not within even 10, I believe. The Islanders are probably going to go under that. The Detroit Red Wings are going to go under that. Jarvis is going to go over. Pinto got hurt, so unfortunately, I think he got hurt. He's saying they're not going to go near it. And then UC Soros, I wasn't telling you guys to bet the same as the other ones, but that's obviously not going to hit at 15-1. So yeah, I went 3 for 5, but it's more so like, or 3 for 8, but it's more so like 3 for 7. Because again, I'm not telling you to bet the same with UC Soros. That was a little sprinkle in terms of a 15-1. So yeah, 3 for 7, not great. And my 2 most confident, I would definitely say, were the Flames under. I put a couple hundred on that, and the Drysdale under. Put a couple hundred on that. So not great, but not horrible. So here's the full scope of predictions in all its glory. Yes, I did have the Boston Bruins being the Stanley Cup finalist. Again, I did not think that the Lindholm and Zadorov deals were good, but there were a 109-point team last year that won a playoff round and got Florida to go to 6. Thought Lindholm and Zadorov maybe would be playoff suited to help the Boston Bruins potentially get to a cup final. Brutal. I went with the Columbus Blue Jackets for the worst team. I think didn't I have San Jose as was a worst record, but still, regardless, that aged like crap. Hart, Ross, McDavid, just not a down year by him. Matthews got hurt. Norris, Adam Fox, pretty bad. Calder, Cutter Gauthier, horrendous. Selke, Joel Eriksson, Barkov's just going to win it for the next decade, basically. Jack Adams, bad, but not horrible. He got him back in the playoffs. He did his job. Gregory, ass. Even though I don't know why I picked that, even though I didn't like the Shea. And Stamkos deal, Soros, back-to-back disappointing years, man. Very, very underwhelming. For some reason, I criticized him like a month ago, and people said like, "Oh no, it's the team's fault." No, he has just not been playing to the level that he's capable of. Most improved player. If Adam Fantilli started the year on the first, I thought he was going to start the year as the first line center. Monahan was playing great and earned that, but eventually, once Fantilli got elevated, he's been playing great basically since like mid-January. But definitely not the most improved player in the entire NHL. That's either Protas or Marchenko or something. Another Columbus Blue Jackets player, Lacombe maybe as well. Underrated, the Anaheim Ducks. Over 72.5. They might end up getting like 82 points or something like that. So that was actually pretty solid. Not a team that was going to like make the playoffs. They're not the most underrated team. Obviously, the Washington Capitals were that. But that was a solid pick. And then overrated, Detroit Red Wings. Probably going to finish at like 82, 83 points. I always tend to get my overrated, underrated pretty decent. I think last year I had Buffalo as I had Vancouver as the most underrated. Buffalo is the most overrated last year. So I'm pretty decent with that. The rest, I was better in prior years in terms of awards predictions. This was just a next level bad year. So now I'm praying for your forgiveness, that you could forgive me for these horrible picks. Hopefully during the season, I've obviously adjusted my picks. I'm not saying that Barry Trotz is still going to win the Jim Gregory or Cutter Gauthier is going to win the Calder. Yeah, we gotta be better next season. That's on me, I promise. I try to go a little bit bold. Again, I did go McDavid and Matthews for Hart and Rocket. I know you guys are going to criticize me for that, but I try to go a little bit bold with some of my other predictions that are like just be straight chalk and pick the favorites. But yeah, next year, I promise I'll be better. I'll avoid these catastrophe kind of picks. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? What picks did you have that aged fantastic or aged like shit like some of mine? I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.